Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new to this channel, we say thank you so much for stopping by, and to our returning subscribers, we appreciate you so much. Thank you for showing us love. In today's tutorial, I'm going to teach you how I made this beautiful cold shoulder dress for a 4 to 5 year old child. Trust me, it is very simple and easy to make. If you are interested in this tutorial, then let's dive right into the details. So I have two pieces of fabric here. This is actually a cotton fabric, a bigger one and a smaller one. The bigger one is 15 inches in width, and then it's 11 inches in length, and the smaller one is 13 inches in width and 11 inches in length. I'll be cutting out both the front and then the back at once. So I'm going ahead to fold both fabrics into two. So I'll go ahead and then place the bigger fabric on the bottom and then place the smaller fabric on top of the bigger one, making sure that the pieces are facing each other and then the folded parts are towards the same direction. So the fold lines are here and then the pieces are 4 and they are also here. So the bottom one is going to be my back pattern while the top one is going to be my front. So I'm going to go in by 3.5 inches from the fold line and then mark it out. From the top, I'll mark out 1 inch and also 3 inches. So I'm going to curve out from the 1 inches I marked. I'm going to curve out my back neck. So I'll extend this curve to touch the back fabric piece this way. And then for the front, I'll curve out to touch the 3-inch mark I made. So for the front, it's not going to extend to the back fabric piece. So after curving it out, I'm going to bring in my curved ruler and then mark it to get a fine curve for the front. So after doing this, the next I'll do is to also measure 5 inches from the top to the bottom this way. Then I'll draw a line across this way. So this is going to be my chest line. And also I would go in by 5.5 inches from the back pattern and then mark it on top this way, and then I would extend this mark to touch my chest line. Then I'll measure what I have here. I have just 2 inches. That is very okay. And then I'll go in by another 2 inches from that mark to the top this way, and then I'll curve out my armhole. I'll measure 7 inches at the bottom and then mark, and also connect that mark to touch my chest line this way. Then I will drop the shoulder by half an inch and then slant my shoulder. And then I would cut out my pattern. So I'm cutting out the back first, and after cutting out the back, then I will just separate the back from the front and go ahead and also cut out my front. So for the front, I'll just be cutting out the neckline. So I'll separate the fabric pieces, and then at the front I'll go ahead and then cut out the front neckline. The next I'll do is to separate the back pieces. I'll be placing a zipper at the back, so I'll just cut it out into 2 pieces. And these are my pieces for both the front and then the back. 2 for the back and then 1 for the front. So I'll just set it aside and then we'll concentrate on the skirt. So for the skirt, I have 2 pieces of fabric here. I'm going to fold this fabric into 2 so that you can see what I'm doing on the screen. The width of this fabric is 15.5 inches and then the length is 21 inches. So I'll go ahead and then unfold this fabric pieces. Remember, I have two pieces, so I'll unfold the first one, and then for the second I'll just cut it out, and I want to have two pieces for the back so that I can be able to place a zipper at the back. So I'll separate the back pieces. Now I have two pieces for the back and then one piece for the front. So I'll head to my sewing machine. I normally like to gather with my sewing machine, so I head to my sewing machine and then draw gathers on the top part of these fabrics. So this is how the gathers looks like. I have gathered both the front and then the back pieces. I'm going to bring in my pattern pieces for the front, the bodice, and then the back, and I'll pin the front bodice on top of the front skirt. So I'll pin it, and then I would pin the back pieces together as well. I'll head to my sewing machine and then I will stitch them down neatly. The next I will do is to place the right sides facing each other. On the waistline, I'll just pin it to hold the waist in position and also pin the hem down together. And also I'm pinning the sides at the moment. So I'm going to head to my sewing machine and then stitch the back down midsection of the skirt to the hem, and I'll bring in my matching zipper that I'll be fixing at the back as well. So I'll go ahead and then fix the zipper. This is what it turned out. We'll set this aside and then we'll concentrate on the sleeve. So for the sleeves, I have two pieces of fabric folded. This is the fold line here, and it's folded into 4 pieces. I actually forgot to measure this while I was recording, but the length of this fabric is 5.5 inches and then the width is 7.5. So from the top, I marked out 1 inch and then I'll mark it out. And I would go in by 3 inches and then mark it at the top this way, and I'll connect both points with a curved ruler. You can use your free hand if you don't have a curved ruler. So I've curved it out, and from that curved line I would further go in by 2.5 inches and then mark. Then from this 2.5 inches I'll mark out 2.5 again, slanted line, and then connect these 2 points with a straight line. Then I will just draw in a straight line at the top to touch this point this way, and I will connect a curved line from the bottom to touch the slanted line we made on this piece of fabric. So after doing this, I'm going to cut out my sleeve pattern. So at this point, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please hit on the subscribe button and help us grow this community. We have a lot of tutorials in stock just for you. So this is what my patterns look like. So I have a bias tape here that is 1/2 inch. I'm going to use this bias tape to just clean the curved portion of this sleeve. I would head to my sewing machine and then stitch the bias tape all around. After stitching it down, this is what it looks like. So beautiful already. The next I will do is to set it aside and then bring in my front and back dress pieces. So these are the pieces here. I'll bring in my sleeve, and for the sleeve, remember I have a straight line here and a slanted line here. So I'm going to place the slanted line on the curved part of this dress, that is the armhole area. So I would stitch them down on the sewing machine, but before that I'll pin them as I do all the time. I'm going to pin the slanted area onto the armhole curve, and then after pinning it down on the front block, I would also pin it down on the back fabric pieces as well. And whatever I'm doing here, I'll be repeating the same thing on the other side of the dress. So after stitching it down on the armhole, the next I'll do is also to bring in my bias tape and also clean the armhole area. Remember, we are not done with the armhole, so I'll clean it from the shoulder point through the armhole to touch the shoulder of the back as well. So I'll repeat the same thing for the other side of the dress, and I'll also stitch the shoulders down on 1/2 inch for this dress. So after stitching the shoulders down, this is what it looks like, and I've cleaned the armhole as well. And I'm going to bring in this bias tape I have here and also use it to clean the neck region of this dress. So I'll be cleaning both the front and then the back neck of this dress with this bias tape. So I'm pinning the bias on the dress from one end to the other, and then I'll head to my sewing machine and then stitch the bias tape down to create a very beautiful neckline for this dress. Our dress is coming into form so beautiful. Look at how it looks like at the back, and I left a bit of space at the back for the zipper. I will be finishing this off later. So I'm going to just join the sides, align the sides of this dress together from the armhole through to the hem of this dress. I'll pin it down, and then I would head to my sewing machine and then stitch the sides down. It's important to align it so that we don't have a mismatch on the sides, and also finish off the hem of this dress. So I'm done stitching the sides and then the hem. So for the zipper, I left out a bit here. I'm going to show you what I intend to do to finish off the zipper. I will just fold the zipper in this way, hold it with pins, and then I would head to my sewing machine and then stitch it down by 1/2 inch just to keep the zipper in place at the back. And we are almost done with this dress. I decided to make a decorative bow at the armhole curve of this dress. This is just a ribbon I have, and I folded it to form a beautiful bow, and then I placed it on the curved region of this armhole, hold them down with pins, and I will bring in my needle and thread and stitch the bow down beautifully on both the armhole curve of this dress. So we are done with this dress. This is what the front looks like, so beautiful and so neat, and this is what the back looks like as well. Thank you so much for making time to watch this video. We truly appreciate each and every one of you. We have very beautiful dresses coming up in our next tutorial. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment and share this video. We will see you again in our next video. Thank you so much for watching.